Think about buying a fixer-upper? Well, think twice. It may actually cost you more than you actually think. What's up, real estate rock stars? I'm Mighty Mike, and welcome to another episode of Rockstar News, your news source for real estate agents, real estate investors, and anyone looking to become a real estate rock star. If this is your first time watching, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like us, and share with all your people.
What's up, guys? Chris Noon. Welcome to the show.
The majority of fixer-upper homeowners thought they could actually save money. They actually spent about the same amount or even more than their move-in ready counterparts. A recent survey of about 1,000 homeowners found that those who bought a move-in ready, a home that didn't need any repairs or major upgrades, spent about $250,000 on average for their home, while those who bought a fixer-upper spent on average $200,000, but soon after purchasing their fixer-upper, they either spent that $50,000 in savings or more on home repairs and major upgrades. It seems that the only advantage, according to the survey, in buying a fixer-upper is being able to design and improve the home to your own taste. The biggest problem with fixer-uppers? The danger of running over budget. More than 2/5 of those who bought a fixer-upper ended up blowing way past their budget. On average, they end up spending about $76,000 on renovations, or about 60% more than those who stuck to their allotted amount. Now, some of the budget-busting issues were roof repairs or roof replacements. New kitchens caused as much pain as new bathrooms did. Same for new flooring and driveways. Replacing plumbing and replacing electrical caused pains. Installing new heating, ventilation, and air conditioning proved to be the project that turned your wallet inside out. You never know what's going to turn your dream home into a money pit until it actually does. About 2/5 of those who bust their budget said they wouldn't actually buy their current home ever again. All right, so Chris, have you run into this situation before?
Yeah, actually, a client last year, they were cash. They didn't mind doing a fixer-upper. Mm-hmm. They bought a fixer-upper, and now they're trying to sell it a year later. And when you kind of have that year difference based on all the money you bought for the house and everything you put into it, it's like, are you going to get your money back in a year's time? And it's very close for them. It's like they can barely, and they're still having to fix it up. And they actually told me, it's like, we'll never buy a flip again.
Yeah, well, see, that's one of the things that I always run into, like when I'm showing houses to like new first-time home buyers. You know, they're like, hey, Mike, I want to save money. I want to make sure I get a good deal. Mm-hmm. So we're not afraid to like fix something up, and I am, because of that very issue. Like people don't realize what has to go into a house, and if you're buying a house, say you're getting a good deal in it, you get a discount. But you're buying it because you can't afford a renovation. Right. You don't have the cash to do so. If like you're trying to do FHA, if you're trying to, sit there, you don't have a lot of money for down payment, then you don't have the money to repair that house. Yeah, agreed. And you're gonna get yourself in trouble. One, FHA probably won't, go for most fixer-uppers.
No, they won't. Like it's just gonna be an appraisal issue from the get-go if it's gonna be a fixer-upper FHA.
Yeah. So what I try to do for most of my buyers, and this goes for everybody out there, if you have the budget, if you have about $50,000 beyond what it costs to buy the house,
down payment and closing costs,
all that stuff, then yeah, sure, go ahead and do it. That's fine. It's you completely do it. It's completely up to you. But if you don't, always go for something that's already a pretty decent shape. Mm-hmm. If you can afford something that's completely renovated, then go for that. That's fine. And there's some pitfalls and some issues with that, and we'll talk about that in another video.
Yeah, of course.
But we talked about this in another video. Like 9 times out of 10, I take my client to see. They always say like, "Oh, you get the fixer-upper," and I want to go take them to go see the renovated home. Mm-hmm. They usually go for that one.
Yeah, because once they see like the difference in the price scaling, like if you're like your budget's between 200 and 225, one of the first homes you're gonna want to go see is a 200. This is a money pit waiting to happen. And then you go see 225. It's like, yeah, we're gonna go pay for the top dollar for it.
Yeah, and also you got to take into consideration your time. Like if you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, or you're an engineer, stuff like this. Are you gonna spend the weekends fixing up this property, or would you rather spend the extra money up front, because that's what you're gonna do? Yeah. If you're gonna buy a fixer-upper, you're gonna spend the money regardless. So either you buy something that's been fixed up, or something that it needs to be repaired, and you spend the time to do that. But the difference is your time. That's the additional cost of that.
And I will always advocate buy something. If you don't have the money, just like you stated earlier, if you do not have the money to go into repairs, you better go essentially to the top of your budget, and that way it's as turnkey as possible. That way you are not having to put a penny in when you move in.
Yeah.
And that's my intentions. I always try to advocate for that.
Yeah. And bit of caveat here, we're not saying that go out there and blow past your budget when it comes to actually
Don't be
purchasing a
house
house.
broke.
Yeah,
Don't
don't
be
be
house
house broke. What we're trying to say is that if you have a budget of $200,000 and it's the difference between choosing a house that's $150 but needs $50,000 in repair,
Yeah.
or buying a house that's $200 and needs no repairs whatsoever, you're probably better off picking the $200,000 one. Just simply because you don't have that cash that's available, and if you are using FHA or any issues like that, then you'll run into those. All right, so what do you guys think? Do you plan on buying a fixer-upper, or do you think going into a new renovated home or one that doesn't need a lot of repairs is a much better option for you? Go ahead and leave your comments down below. Don't forget to join us on all of our social media platforms so you can stay up to date in the latest in Rockstar news. If you thought about launching your real estate career and live in the Central Florida area, go ahead and shoot me a message directly. We're going to be having a career night this Thursday between 6 p.m. and 7:30. And if you would like Chris and I to be your real estate coach, we can get you, can help you guys get your careers off the ground. With 87% of agents failing in their first 2 years, having a coach/mentor is going to be incredibly important. So go ahead and join us and become a real estate rock star.
One take.
Fumble if you.